Mary, thanks so much for joining us and for your work on this. Can you tell us a bit about your investigation with ICT?
Yes, we took a look specifically at Red Cloud Indian School. It has been in existence since 1888 and was formerly a boarding school, but now operates as a day school on the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. And they have started a truth and healing effort with the tribe, and we kind of went out. We wanted to kick the tires on it and take a look at what they're doing, and also, ask people in the community, how they felt and what they would like to see done, and their opinion on what the school has done so far.
What were some of the things that your investigation was able to discover?
Well, while we were there, they actually began doing ground penetrating radar searches on some parts of the school, and there was a former student and a former worker at the school who reported that back in the 1990s he had seen 3 graves marked with small crosses in the basement of one of the historic dorms, Drexel dorm. He never came forward because he was really the reaction from the school, from the brother at the time that he told him, whom he told about the findings, was very angry with him and instructed him not to tell anybody, but it really bothered him. And after the discoveries of graves up in Canada, he really felt that he had to come forward. So he came forward earlier this year. And so the school actually conducted some ground penetrating radar in the basement of that building. And as we speak, they are now removing the concrete and sifting through the dirt underneath to see what they can find.
Wow. What are some of the other tribes that are involved in the latest searches?
I don't know all of the tribes. There are some, just individual work that people are doing that may not really be on the radar. I just noticed that in Kansas, they will begin doing some ground penetrating radar searching. There really hasn't been a lot done so far here.
Mary, do you think that this situation in the U.S. is kind of mirroring what Canada's going through with the reckoning this year with the suspected unmarked graves?
One would hope so. However, I think that there will be a great deal of resistance here in the United States. There are far more schools here that operated, perhaps like at least 50% more. The population was greater here. And I think there's a great deal of trepidation in the United States about reparations. I think they don't want to go. They don't want to go there, in the same route that Canada has done. And I think there's a great fear about that. However, it's there, it's coming out, and it's a truth that can no longer be ignored.
That fear, you think, is on the part of the U.S. government?
Big time. Yes, I think money, of course, is, I think, we're seeing a lot of political opposition. For instance, there is a boarding school commission act in Congress right now. And I think that there is a great fear among some legislators that there would be a financial burden on the United States. Also, churches, as in Canada, have been quite reluctant to open up their records and, to be fully transparent about their role. And their role, as well as in Canada, was great here in the United States, and it hasn't really been known until recently.
Mary, we know Deb Haaland, the minister, is doing this Path to Healing tour. How has the U.S. government been responding so far?
Yes, that's the Secretary of the Interior, Deb Haaland, who's actually a member she's a citizen of the Laguna Pueblo. She's the first Native person to hold that position. It's really the highest governmental position under the president in response to basically to Native policies here in the United States. She has been going around the country and doing what she calls conducting healing tours. She conducted the 3rd one just last week in the Great Plains area on the Rosebud Reservation, and people they've been very greatly attended. and people have been welcoming them and telling their stories. So she wanted to give people, at the very least, an opportunity to do this. This is part of her initiative, looking into doing an investigation into the boarding school history here in the United States. However, there are no consequences. There's no teeth, as it were, in this initiative. But of course, the act would have some. But even in the initiative, at least she is going forward and really giving people an opportunity to share their stories and presenting it to the American public.
Well, Mary, like I said, great work on this, really leading the way. You got your podcast and everything. Appreciate you taking some time to talk to us about it.
Sure, I'm glad to be here. And my podcast is on revealnews.org. Thank you.